tell me about your company in 20 seconds or less.
All right, Been Verified is a company, internet product that we built to help people discover, understand, and use public data. So our customers range from anything from people that are looking up potential dates, moms that want to know who just moved into the neighborhood, all the way up to people that are just searching their own identity and want to know what public data is out there about them.
Okay.
And we really started it with the simple goal of, you have all this peer-to-peer going on and people meeting in different places today, and how can you sort of know more information about the people that you interact with?
Okay.
That's what we do.
And what's the competition like in the space?
It's a competitive space. To date, there really is no true sort of market leader or brand. And that's pretty much what we're focused on every day, is really becoming sort of the brand that people can trust within the space.
Okay. How did you get into it?
That's a long question. You want the 20-second answer?
You can go a little longer.
So I have been building internet companies literally since I was in high school. And the short answer is there was always this lack of, when we would sort of hire people online or meet people online, how you could know who to trust. And when we sort of started out, we said, hey, why don't we do that why don't we help people know who they can trust within the freelancing market? And as we dug deeper in, we realized this wasn't just a freelancing problem. This was everything from dating to everything. It applies for everything.
Okay.
And since there, we've had 27 pivots, and here we are today.
So can you like look up someone's astrological sign? Like what sort of
data? So you can get location info, neighborhood info, age info, phone numbers, and more things like traditional public records, court records, criminal records, bankruptcies, whole bunch of information around like licenses, professional information, that sort of stuff.
And how are you getting the word out?
So we do a ton of marketing, everything from television to sort of more traditional, or what's now traditional, digital, SEM, you know, display, social, you know, we're in every channel.
Okay. And how did you build your team?
How did we build our team? One great person at a time, I think, is the best way to do it, and sort of as we've needed them. We haven't tried to really over-optimize hiring and over scaling the team, really hiring sort of as we've needed, and also being very selective about who we hire and who we bring on.
Okay. And so you talked about in high school you started these other sites. What were they exactly?
So in high school I used to sell term papers online.
Oh, crafty.
Crafty, exactly. And this is in like, you know, the 90s. So
wait, is this legal? Was this legal back then?
It's still legal today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
been out of the term paper game for a while.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, helping people get notes and information about Macbeth articles or whatever.
Okay.
You know, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
You know, 15 years old, sort of learning to code like, you know, Cold Fusion and, you know, weird stuff like that.
So you were a serial entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur in college. I had a startup that was a college social networking site, even before MySpace and Facebook.
Pre-Friendster?
Pre-Friendster.
Okay.
We're talking like 98, 99.
Pioneer.
Yeah, took some time off of college, raised a whole bunch of venture capital money, and you know, it blew up nice and spectacularly in the last .com bust. So learned a lot from that. Yeah. And
so what has been your path to get here? What was your first job?
So my first job out of school was after the startup in college, I went back to school, got a degree in finance, went into finance for a little while, which I think it was a great foundation for being an entrepreneur, because in finance, one of the sort of simple tricks you learn is that everything is about risk and reward. And I think that's like, if you sort of break something down from a decision that an entrepreneur has to make to what's my risk and what's my reward, it really makes your decision framework pretty easy. And then was doing finance for a while, got tired of just sort of moving numbers around the screen and wanted to get back to building stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then what has been your best career day so far?
My best career day? I would say, so I don't think we're like huge on this sort of like vanity metrics or like big on like needing PR and stuff like that, but probably the coolest thing was we were ranked #1 in New York City for fastest growing company in Inc. magazine last year.
Oh wow.
And we did that. Yeah, it was cool, and it was like sort of a justification that you don't need to raise the most amount of money, you don't need the biggest team, you can sort of have some, you know, some great relative growth and sort of, you know, validation without, you know, needing to raise a whole bunch of VC money. So that was cool.
And so as far as like building your brand, what's your hook, or what's
the hook? I mean, I think it's all about data. You know, we really try to make every decision from sort of a data perspective, do a lot of, you know, high velocity testing, making sure that we test everything to see what resonates. We have no idea. On social or Facebook, one message could resonate. On television, it could be a whole nother message. And we really try to sort of target the message to the right audience, and do, you know, just a whole bunch of testing within it.
Yeah. And for other entrepreneurs, because a lot of this is about sharing best practices, worst nightmares, failures, whatever it is, what would be some advice that you have for other entrepreneurs that maybe they have an idea and they haven't taken the first step?
I think would be my advice. Take the first step.
Okay.
I think the best, maybe two pieces of advice. One is just don't stop. You have to take that step. You have to start, you have to incorporate the company, you have to call yourself a company, you have to get a logo, you have to build a wireframe, you have to build an MVP, you have to build a product. You got to just keep your feet moving and moving and moving, and don't ever stop. And then I think the other thing is not taking no for an answer, and also always being very inquisitive and sort of asking questions about why people are doing things, questioning not questioning yourself, but questioning your own process and your own practices, and sort of figuring out how you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were sharing your wisdom.
Sharing my wisdom.
Yes.
Which we're still learning.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's always, you know, I don't think anyone ever, I don't have it figured out. We're learning every day. It's you know, we talk about in the office a lot, like we're always amazed by what we know today that we didn't know like 2 years ago. So what I think is awesome is like, what am I going to know in a year or two that I don't know today? Yeah. That, you know, I don't know. That excites me. Yeah.
And with your team, do you guys have very different working styles? Are you similar? We were talking about your partner, life partner.
I think we're similar in some ways, and then different in other ways, where we're good at sort of balancing each other out. Skill set wise, we're fairly similar. Yeah.
And what do you look for with new people that you're bringing on?
So a couple things. One is we want people that are hungry and want to learn. I think to me, someone that wants to learn, like skills can be taught, maybe with a technical role you need some sort of base level, but at the end of the day, we want people that want to learn and that want to just strive to do better. And then I think maybe the second big thing to that is that, you know, also having people that will do what they say they'll do. I think that's a big thing. You want trust, that if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it, and it's going to be great, and we keep moving.
Yeah.
Those are sort of my two big things.
And how important is your network now?
I don't know. I probably could do a better job of getting out there and networking. I'm probably still too much focused on, you know, the numbers and the metrics and everything internally. I'm working on that. It's a personal goal.
Okay, it's good to have.
So here I am.
Well, do you guys divide and conquer a lot?
Yes, we divide and conquer. Okay. Yeah, we try to say, you know, here are the things that need to get accomplished, and, you know, have a framework for sort of prioritization, and then, you know, you take this, you're skilled, you just know that, and it's, you know, with my partner, I think at this long, we were talking before, he's almost like a life partner. You know, we've been doing this for so long. You know, I think, you know, you just have a natural sort of like, I'm good at this, you're good at that, let's, you know, divide and conquer.
And then what were some of the steps that you took when you decided you were going to move forward with the idea? Like, what were the first few things you guys did or put in place?
Again, just start. Like, if I have an idea, like I'll start with logos and wireframes, like, and start talking about it like it exists and it's the biggest thing before it even exists. We always laugh when we recruited our CTO, who was actually the CTO at my earlier startup. You know, day one, we sort of sketched something on a napkin. We were like, hey, come leave your big corporate job to come work with us. This is going to be like $1 billion company in 12 months. And I think it's sort of, you know, always having that kind of, you know, being naive that you can actually accomplish that sort of stuff.
And so as far as what's going to be your next move in the next year or two, where do you see the biggest growth being?
So we have, you know, we're top 500 website, ton of traffic, you know, ton of users. What we really find interesting is that within our user base, there's so many different reasons that people use Been Verified. and what we're trying to focus on is how do we deliver the best product that's tailored to a specific audience. So that's kind of what we're focused on.
Okay.
Yeah. How do we deliver the best product to, say, a mother who wants to know what's going on in the neighborhood versus a dater that wants some quick info about who they're about to meet up with, you know, for a drink that they met on Tinder.
And which one do you think would get more searches?
That is the constant debate. It's the eternal question that we're trying to solve the answer for, is what are the best sort of audiences to really focus on first. Yeah, we're trying to figure that out.
Well, it sounds like hopefully you'll have all of them. So
that's the goal.
If you're the mom that wants to go on a Tinder date,
you could have both. Exactly.
You could double check on both.
That is actually a great audience for us, sort of, you know, divorced single moms, or, you know, they have, you know, they have, you know, sort of more things that they want to protect, like a family already. They're very interested in the verified.
So would you say that's your differentiator, is how the data can be searched versus your
I mean, we really try to focus on the product of it, so really just making it super easy, super affordable. You know, data in and of itself is complex. There's a lot of data out there. How do I know what's important? How do I get it all? We make it really easy for you to access it on your phone, on the desktop, coming in 2 weeks on your Apple Watch.
So do you guys have any big announcements coming out?
We do. We actually just got invited out to Cupertino by Apple to be one of the launch partners for the new Apple Watch app.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, very cool. We're excited about it. The team's been working night and day, really trying to build one of the best, you know, Apple Watch apps coming out. And we're super excited about it.
One of the first?
One of the first. Yeah, literally our developers flown out, working with their developers, helping Apple fix bugs, stuff like that. So it's been cool.
Okay, last question. Since you're a technology guy, what are some of your favorite apps?
What are some of my favorite apps? Uber, I use twice a day.
Okay. Power user?
I'm a power Uber user, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much my go-to at this point.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what's your website and where can people find you?
The website is beenverified.com. You can find us at, obviously, beenverified.com, also within the iPhone and Android store.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.